If you feel nothing after everything you've survived, this is why. Have you ever reached a point where you didn't feel sad, you just felt nothing? Not peace. Not calm. Not happiness. Just blank. You can laugh at the right moments. You can go to work. You can answer messages. You can be fine. But inside, it feels like the lights are on and nobody's home. You don't cry when you think you should. You don't get excited when something good happens. You don't even get angry, you just shut down. And then you start asking the question that scares people, what's wrong with me? Why can't I feel? Here's what I need you to understand, emotional numbness is not a personality flaw. It's not you being cold. It's not you being broken. For many people, emotional numbness is a nervous system survival response. It's what happens when your system decides, feeling is too expensive right now. Today we're going to break down what emotional numbness really is. Why it shows up after prolonged stress or trauma. The signs you're in shutdown even if you look functional. And how to come back to feeling again without overwhelming yourself. In episode 1, we talked about traumatic intelligence, how survival sharpens perception. Episode 2, staying calm in chaos and crashing later. Episode 3, self-reliance, hyper-independence as protection. Episode 4, people-pleasing, managing emotions to stay safe. Episode 5, overthinking, mental surveillance after every interaction. Episode 6, trust issues, closeness, feeling dangerous. Episode 7, attachment triggers, chasing, pulling away, sabotaging. Episode 8, emotional flashbacks, small moments hitting like huge wounds. Episode 9 is what often happens after all of that when the nervous system gets tired of feeling too much, emotional numbness. Because some people don't live in anxiety forever. Sometimes the system flips. Instead of panic, you get emptiness. Instead of intensity, you get shut down. Instead of fear, you get I don't care. And if you don't understand it, you'll mislabel it as depression, laziness, or I'm just not a feeling person. But many times, it's simpler than that. Your system is conserving energy to survive. By the end of this episode, you'll know the difference between calm and shutdown. Why numbness often follows anxiety and emotional flashbacks. The 8 signs you're emotionally numb, even if you're productive. What not to do if you want to feel again, and the safe return method, how to reconnect to emotion without flooding. Here's the key truth, numbness is a form of protection. Your system is not trying to destroy you. It's trying to prevent overload. If you've ever thought, I don't feel anything anymore, comment numb. Just one word. No explanation needed. Part 1, what emotional numbness really is. Emotional numbness is what happens when your nervous system stops processing feelings in real time. It's not that you don't have emotions. It's that your system blocks access to them. Why? Because emotions take energy. Feeling deeply requires capacity. And if you've been living in chronic stress, hypervigilance, overthinking, people-pleasing, emotional flashbacks, unpredictable relationships, or constant pressure to perform, your nervous system eventually says, enough. So it pulls the emergency brake. This is often called shutdown or collapse. It can look like disconnecting, dissociation, emotional flatness, going through the motions, not caring about things you used to care about, feeling detached from your life. And here's the part people miss, shutdown is not relaxation. Shutdown is your system conserving power because it believes it cannot safely feel. It's like your phone going into low battery mode. Still running. Still functional. But limiting features. Emotion is one of the first features that gets restricted. Part 2, why numbness happens after too much. A lot of people think numbness comes out of nowhere. It doesn't. It usually comes after a long period of being overactivated. Imagine your nervous system like a volume dial. Some people live at volume 9 for years, anxiety, scanning, fixing, performing, surviving, anticipating danger. That's exhausting. So eventually the system protects itself by turning the volume down to 1. That's numbness. And numbness can follow prolonged stress, burnout, relationship instability, repeated conflict, grief you didn't process, trauma triggers that never stopped, emotional flashbacks. Episode 8. Your system isn't saying, I don't want to feel. It's saying, I can't afford to feel right now. Because when you feel, you risk flooding. And flooding is what your body is trying to prevent. So numbness is not the absence of emotion. It's a strategy to avoid being overwhelmed by emotion. Part 3, 8 signs you're emotionally numb, even if you look fine. Here are 8 signs you might be in shutdown. 1. You don't feel joy the way you used to. Good news happens and you say, cool. But you don't feel it in your body. 2. You feel disconnected from people you care about. You love them logically, but emotionally you feel far away. 3. You avoid emotional content. Deep conversations, sad movies, vulnerability. Your system says nope. 4. You're constantly distracted. Scrolling, working, busying yourself, noise in the background, anything to avoid silence. 5. Your memory feels foggy. You forget conversations, lose track of time, feel mentally dull. 6. Your body feels heavy or slow. Not necessarily depressed, just drained. Like moving through water. 7. You feel numb, then suddenly explode. You're flat for weeks, then one small thing triggers tears or rage. That's stored emotion leaking. 8. You can't access your desires. You don't know what you want. Not because you don't have goals, because your system isn't connected to preference. If you relate to several of these, don't panic. This is common. And it's reversible. But you need to stop trying to force feelings like it's a switch. Which sign is the loudest for you? 1, 4, or 7? Drop the number in the comments. Then stay with me because the next part explains how to come back safely. Part 4, what not to do. This makes numbness worse. If you want to feel again, there are a few mistakes that keep people stuck. Mistake number 1, shaming yourself. I'm cold. I'm broken. I'm a bad partner. I'm not human. Shame tells your nervous system you're unsafe with yourself. That makes shutdown stronger. Mistake number 2, forcing intensity. Some people try to feel by chasing intensity, drama, toxic relationships, constant stimulation, chaos, overwork, impulsive decisions. That's not healing. That's reactivation. It can temporarily break numbness, but it doesn't create safety, so you crash back into shutdown later. Mistake number 3, treating numbness like a mindset problem. This isn't just think positive. Numbness is biological. It's a state. You don't think your way out of a state. You regulate your way out. Mistake number 4, talking yourself into closeness while your body is in shutdown. You might want intimacy, but if your system isn't ready, it will resist. You'll feel irritated. You'll feel trapped. You'll feel I don't know. That's not you being incapable of love. That's your system saying, too fast. The goal is not to force closeness. The goal is to rebuild capacity. Part 5, the safe return method, how to feel again without flooding. If numbness is protection, the way back is safety and gradual capacity. Here's a simple method you can use daily. Step 1, start with body sensation, not emotion labels. When you're numb, sad or happy might feel inaccessible. So don't start with emotional words. Start with sensation, warm, cold, heavy, tight, relaxed, buzzing, hollow, numb. Ask, what do I notice in my body right now? Even if the answer is nothing. That nothing is still information. You're rebuilding connection. Step 2, micro feelings, not big feelings. Don't aim for crying for an hour. Aim for small contact. Try this question. What is the smallest emotion present right now? Maybe it's mild irritation, slight sadness, small relief, tiny fear, quiet loneliness. Small is good. Small means your system can tolerate it. Step 3. Give your nervous system proof of safety, daily, boring, repeatable. Safety is built with repetition, not insight. Choose one daily anchor, a 10-minute walk, consistent sleep window, slow breathing, or 60 seconds, sunlight in the morning, less scrolling at night, a meal at regular time. Why does this matter? Because the nervous system trusts patterns. If your life is chaos, your body stays in protection. If your life is consistent, your body starts relaxing its grip. Step 4. Control vulnerability with safe people. Don't start with the person who triggers you most. Start with someone safe, with a small truth: I've been a bit shut down lately. I'm not feeling much right now, but I care. I'm working on reconnecting. You're not dumping trauma. You're naming reality. Safe people respond with patience. Unsafe people make it about them. Either way, you get clarity. Step 5. Let emotion come in waves, without acting on it immediately. When numbness starts to lift, emotion can come back as a wave. Sometimes you'll feel sadness suddenly. Sometimes anger. Sometimes fear. Your job is not to act impulsively. Your job is to allow the wave and stay present. A wave rises. A wave peaks. A wave passes. If you stay with it, your system learns. Feeling is survivable. And that's the core lesson your nervous system needs. You don't need to force yourself to feel. You need to prove you can handle feeling. Here's what I want you to carry with you: emotional numbness is not the end of your capacity. It's your system's attempt to save you from overload. And if you've been numb, it usually means you've been strong for too long. You've been functional. You've been responsible. You've been surviving. But survival isn't the same as living. The way back is not intensity. The way back is safety, slowly. Not one breakthrough. 100 small returns. To your body. To your boundaries. To your present moment. That's how the lights come back on. If this episode described you, comment NUMB again. And if you want episode 10, we're talking about self-worth wounds. Why you don't believe you're enough, why you chase approval, and how to rebuild self-worth without performance. Subscribe and turn on notifications. Episode 10 is next. And if you missed episodes 1 to 8, start at episode 1. This series is designed to be watched in order.